Okay, our topic today is equations with fractions. Now, we have done a number of things with algebra before, but the one thing that you want to keep in mind as we deal with the problems today is that A over B is just the same, another way of writing A divided by B. And that is important because when we're doing algebra of this nature with equations, what are we doing? We're trying to reverse things. So if something is divided like this, then all we have to do to get the x or whatever the pronumeral is by itself is multiply. So let's use an example. Let's say we have 4x over 3 equals 8. Now, the first thing we need to recognize is we have a fraction here. And so in order to get rid of that fraction, this just says 4x divided by 3. What do we need to do? The way we reverse division is by multiplying. So we're going to multiply by that same 3. And on the left-hand side, when we multiply by 3, we reverse that division, and we're just left with 4x. And on this side, 8 times 3 is 24. And now you know how to do this. It's just 4 times x. How do we reverse the 4? How do we get the 4 out? We divide. Divided by 4 gives me x, and divided by 4 gives me 6. And of course we can put this number back into the top. 4 times 6 is 24, divided by 3, 24 divided by 3 is 8. So we've done it the right way. Now sometimes the problems get a little bit more complex, not a great deal, but a little bit. 4y plus 15 over 9 equals 3. Now the only way that this problem is different from the last one is we have a little bit more of an expression on the top. Instead of just 4x or 4y, we have 4y plus 15. But again, it's still just a fraction on this side. So we have to get rid of the fraction part. Divided by 9, how do we reverse the division? We multiply. Times 9, times 9. The 9 goes away. And we have 4y plus 15 is equal to 3 times 9 is 27. And then we can solve the problem just like we normally would, which we'll go ahead and do. We get rid of the addition first. So we minus 15, which leaves me with 4y is equal to 27 minus 15 is 12. Again, we multiply here by 4, so to get rid of that, we divide by 4, both sides. And we're left with y is equal to 12 divided by 4 is 3. When we put our 3 back into the top, 4 times 3 is 12, plus 15 is 27, divided by 9 is 3. So we've done our problem correctly. Circle our answer at the end, so it's easy to find. Now, this problem is a little bit different from one like this. Let's try 4 plus 5x divided by 2 equals 29. Now the difference between that sort of problem and this one is you will notice here we just have a fraction on this side. It's a fairly complicated fraction, but it's still just a fraction. Over here we have a fraction, and then we have something added to that. So, how do we do this differently? Well, we've got to get rid of the 4 first. We have this added to that equals that, so we've got to get rid of the 4 first. We're going to get rid of this problem, so that it's not in our way. How do we get rid of that 4? Well, we subtract it. And then we're just left with 5x over 2 equals 29 minus 4 is 25. And now we have just a fraction problem again. We're dividing by 2, so we have to multiply by 2 to reverse the division. We reverse the division, now we just have 5x equals 25 times 2 is 50. Then it's just a multiplication problem. 5 times what equals 50? We divide by 5. Divide by 5. And we just have x is equal to 50 divided by 5 is 10. Again, put it back in. 5 times 10 is 50. Divided by 2 is 25. Plus 4, 29. And we're done. One last problem has one more slight twist to it. And that problem, make sure we have it written down right, is 7 minus 2x over 3 is equal to 5. Again, we still have a fraction here, but it's not by itself. It has a 7 here. So you got to get rid of the 7 first. Now remember, the minus goes with the number after it, not the number before, so it's a positive 7. We have to subtract 7 to get rid of our 7. And we have minus, don't forget the minus 2x over 3 is equal to 5, minus 7 is minus 2. Now because we have a negative fraction, the simplest way to get rid of the negative and make it easier is multiply by negative 1. And the reason we do that is because a minus times a minus gives me a positive. 2x over 3 equals, again, minus times a minus gives me 2 times 1 is 2. Then we're back to just solving it as we would a fraction. 3 divided by 3, so we've got times 3 to get rid of the 3 on the bottom, times 3, and we're left with 2x is equal to 2 times 3 is 6. And then we have 2 times, so we divide by 2 to get rid of that. Divide by 2, we get x is equal to 3. And of course we need to check, so we put it back in. 2 times 3 is 6, divided by 3 is 2. 7 minus 2 is 5. We have done the problem the right way, and that is equations with fractions.